Part 49. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 481. Chapter 481, New Intermediate Assistance Package. For more updates, please customize. At dawn the next day, Subai got up early, signed into the system and opened the aid package as usual. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully signing in. Ding. Congratulations to the host for receiving intermediate assistance, danger prediction. Subai immediately sat up straight from where he was lying flat, and said with satisfaction, "This is good." He is very satisfied with the aid package this time. Although it is not an attack or a useful development skill. But this skill is very buggy, and the degree of life-saving is evident. As long as you have this skill, whenever you are close to danger, they can skillfully avoid using this skill. In this way, their personal safety is guaranteed again, and this aid package can be said to be very good. Among the many intermediate aid packages, in addition to healing, this skill is his most popular. Satisfied. As long as he has these two skills, he can survive well in this primitive era. Relying on danger prediction, he can avoid all dangers. Even if he takes 10,000 steps back, he can still be healed if he is injured. Technique, it's really buggy. System, to what extent can this danger prediction detect danger? Subai asked. Host, danger prediction can sense a distance of 5 meters from the host as the center. As long as this distance is exceeded, danger prediction will appear, the system's mechanical sound sounded. Subai raised his eyebrows slightly, nodded and said, "Well, with the upgrade of this skill, can the range of danger prediction be expanded?" There is no way to expand it. This skill can only detect danger within 5 meters, and there is no way to upgrade the skill, the system responded. It turns out that this skill cannot be upgraded. Subai pursed his lips and continued to ask, how long will it take to sense the danger that will occur in the future? He still doesn't understand a lot about this skill, so it's better to ask some questions, otherwise he won't be able to figure it out when the skill is triggered. 5 minutes, as soon as the danger warning sounds, there will be danger in 5 minutes, the system continued to explain. I see. Subai nodded with satisfaction. He got up and changed his clothes, stood in front of the floor mirror and looked at himself. It can be said that he was in a good mood today, and walked out of the room. "Woo, come to have breakfast," Yu Ying's crisp voice sounded. The fox-eared lady actually heard the witch muttering in the room, but she didn't know what it was about. She didn't dare to knock on the door for fear of delaying something, but she was also very curious. "I have been listening at the door for a while, I just don't understand." "Good morning, what's wrong with you?" "It looks weird," Subai asked with a smile. Yu Ying immediately shook her head and hid the fox's tail, for fear of being seen. She put the food on the table and said, "Woo, today I cooked wheat porridge." "Good." Subai nodded and sat down. The two simply finished their breakfast and saw the cat-eared girl and the girl with purple hair coming. "Which, morning," Shalan said. "Hello." "Good morning, why are you two here?" "Have breakfast," Subai asked. "I've already had breakfast." Shalan shook her head and continued, "Woo, Loza said she didn't know what to do, so she came to ask you." After the cat-eared girl finished her training early in the morning, she met a girl with purple hair. After asking her, she found out the girl's problem. It was too heavy to move bricks, she didn't know how to build a stone house, and she was not allowed to go with the gray cement of vegetation. As well as linen and paper making, even earlier. "Woo, what can I do in the tribe?" Lozi asked in embarrassment. She didn't eat breakfast because she wanted to eat it after work. Because she felt that I had been eating and drinking for nothing for so many days, and it would be unreasonable to not work in exchange for food. "Eat first, and then I will arrange your work." Subai feels that the girl is really innocent. But this is also very good. It is a rare and beautiful quality. If it were other people, they would have started eating it without saying a word. No, Wu, I have to work first, otherwise I really don't dare to eat the tribe's food anymore. Leave it to those who work. Isn't it said that the big ice and snow is coming? I don't know what it is, but it sounds dangerous. Luza said seriously. Ha 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 ha, Subai smiled heartily and continued, don't worry, the tribe's food is completely sufficient, just feel free to eat. He was really laughed at the girl's innocence. He didn't expect her to be so simple. It's just my first day in the tribe, and I'm already thinking so much about what a good girl I am. With so many people in the tribe, is there really enough food? Didn't it mean that there was no way to hunt in heavy ice and snow? Luza said doubtfully. That's true, but there's enough food, so don't worry about that, Subai said with a slight smile. Luza breathed a sigh of relief when he heard this, and couldn't help but swallow when he saw the food on the table. Eat it, you're welcome. Subai is still very sure of his judgment, and it has now been confirmed. Thank you. Wu. Luza immediately started to eat happily. She was very happy even if she could afford it. In fact, she was hungry for a long time, but she was embarrassed. 10 minutes later, the purple-haired girl finished her breakfast, with a very satisfied expression on her face. What job should I do? Lucy immediately felt embarrassed after eating. What are you good at? Or what do you know? Subai asked. Lucy turned her purple eyes and said without hesitation, I can only sing. Sing? Subai raised his eyebrows slightly in surprise and asked, sing it to me. Good. Lucy became bolder as soon as she heard that she was going to sing. She cleared her throat and got ready. Fourth update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 482. Chapter 482, The First Teacher. One more please customize. Green plants are growing densely, pink flowers are in full bloom, and white clouds are floating in the sky. Lucy closed her purple eyes and sang affectionately, with an expression of enjoyment on her face, finally finding the time to relax. The current state is the most relaxed she has been in the past few days, otherwise she would always be worried and uncomfortable. Bang bang bang. Subai Tan clapped his hands and praised with satisfaction, it's nice to sing. I didn't expect you to sing so beautifully. This is the first time he has heard such a beautiful singing voice since time travel. It can be regarded as the sound of nature. On the other side of the earth, people with such singing voices can make their debut, and they are no worse than those singers. Really? Wu, does my singing really sound good? Lucy blinked her purple eyes in surprise. Although some people praised her for singing in the tribe before, they were just ordinary tribesmen. This was the first time for her to be praised by people like Wu, so she was particularly surprised. Very nice, a rare singing voice. Subai nodded and said, as if he hadn't heard enough. But I can only sing, so I can't help the tribe at all. Lucy frowned. She had no idea how her singing could help the tribe. Could she sing to those people every day? That would be too boring. Moreover, those people were very busy every day and had no time to listen to her singing. No, your singing can help the tribe a lot, Subai said with a smile. He already had a new plan in mind. It was rare to be able to sing and dance in this primitive era. Although everyone can dance, the dances they danced were all for hunting or awakening totems. Preparatory dances. And those dances are not beautiful at all. They can't be used for appreciation. They are completely different from the graceful dances. Wu, then what is my job? Lucy asked curiously. You can teach the tribal children to sing, and then if you want, I can set up a stage for you to perform, Subai said with a smile. He planned to start education from babies. After all, being able to sing is not a bad thing. And those students are having a hard time learning words every day. If there can be a music class to refresh them at this time, it will definitely be okay. In this way, they will also have expectations for going to school, and they will not sigh every day. Want me to teach children to sing? Luza wondered if her ears had heard it wrong. How? Don't want to, Subai raised his eyebrows slightly and said. No, 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 I would love to, but can the children of the tribe learn to sing? Luza said doubtfully. Aren't the children in your tribe allowed to learn to sing? Subai asked. Yes, children in our tribe don't learn to sing at all, and even adults don't, and those who can read are only people with higher status, Luza said. There is no distinction here. There is no distinction between high status and low status. All children can read and learn to sing, Subai said seriously. He only had one thought in his mind. It was the same no matter where he went. All tribes were divided into high and low status. Those with low status would definitely not be able to learn writing, let alone learn to sing. And he just wants to abolish this. No matter who has high status or low status, everyone can learn to sing and read. Are all the children in the witch tribe learning to write? This is amazing, Luzi exclaimed. Of course, children and adults in our tribe can learn to read, and you can do the same if you want, Subai nodded. Luzi blinked her purple eyes and said, I learned writing in the tribe. It may be different from the writing in the tribe, but I will also study new writing seriously. The purple-haired girl thought that the characters she learned before were all in the past. Now that she has come to a new tribe, she must learn new characters. That's good. You can learn from Alan and the others for the time being. They have learned a lot of writing recently. You can learn from them at the beginning. When you learn it later, I will teach you together, Subai said softly. Yes, I will start learning to read in the evening. Luza smiled and nodded, and asked awkwardly, Wu, you asked me to perform in the tribe, is this true? This is the first time the purple-haired girl has heard this. Someone is willing to build a stage specifically for her to perform. This was not available in her tribe before. If she wanted to sing, she would just hum a few words, or maybe just singing a few lines with friends. Of course, I'll set the stage for you if you want, Subai nodded. What he planned was that there are no entertainment programs in the Yanlong tribe now. It would definitely be good if a girl with purple hair is willing to sing in the tribe. In this way, everyone can have a relaxing program after a busy day. You can watch it, but you won't have to go back to the cabin to sleep once you get busy. Okay, I will try my best, Luzi immediately responded. And would you like to teach children to sing in the tribe? Subai continued to ask. Luzi nodded without hesitation and responded, I am willing, as long as this can be exchanged for meat, I am definitely willing. The purple-haired girl suddenly felt less guilty, because she always felt that everyone in the tribe had a job and could exchange meat for food, but she was the only one who couldn't do anything and was still eating there. Okay, then get ready and then go to school with me tomorrow, Subai said with a smile. Recently, the writing he taught to the tribal children has begun to get on the right track. Before, he only taught numbers, or the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of simple numbers, or very simple words. Okay, but what is school? Luza said doubtfully. The school is a place where children learn to read and write. It is a fixed place. When the time comes, you will be the first teacher of this school, Subai said with a smile. Although it is said to be a school, he is the only one who really teaches people how to read in it. This school is specially built and is a two-story building made of stone and cement. It is divided into there are many classrooms in a relatively small area. Although they are all concentrated in one classroom for the time being, in the future when there are more people in the tribe, there will naturally be more children. It turns out that is the case, but what is a teacher? Luzi asked. Teacher is the honorific title for teaching people how to read, and is very respected, Subai said gently. When Luzi heard this, he stood up straight inexplicably and responded seriously, yes. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 483. Chapter 483, The Seed Will Not Survive. 2 more please customize. It's almost there, it's almost there, it's almost there, Kai shouted loudly. He had already sensed a familiar place. The place in front of him was where they had been before. Yes, it's just a little further away, Lee also nodded and said. They have been out of the giant bear tribe for a while, and they have been following the path they took before. Fortunately, they were careful to mark it when they went back, otherwise they would not be able to find it. On the way back to the Yanlong tribe. We're finally here. It's really a bit far away. Zhang frowned and said, I didn't expect it to be so far away. I thought it would be there in 3 or 4 days, but this is already the 7th day, and it will take more than 10 days to go back and forth. Tap tap tap. Without saying a word, they continued to move towards their destination. At this time, they just wanted to get there quickly so they could rest. More than 2 hours later, the people from the giant bear tribe walked through the forest and arrived at the door of the Yanlong tribe. Here it is. Kai breathed a sigh of relief and said, We have arrived, but we are really tired. With the mentality of arriving soon, they didn't take much rest at all, but kept moving forward. Is this the Yanlong tribe? Zhang glanced around the tribe curiously. He found that the tribe was very strange. Why were there so many large wooden houses outside, and why were all the dirt outside turned out? Wouldn't it be nice to go hunting if you have the spare time? Could it be that there are so many large wooden houses outside? Is it related to porcelain? Is this why they make beautiful porcelain? But it shouldn't be. Those porcelains don't look like they are made of clay. Instead, they look ingenious and have nothing to do with clay. This is it, but the outside is a little different from what I remember, Kai said doubtfully. What he saw was the same heart as what Jian saw, so he felt very strange. Why is it different here after being away for more than 10 days? No matter, let's go in first. Zhang Dang stepped forward first, but he was stopped by the soldiers at the door before he could take 2 cups. Who are you? What do you want to do in our tribe? Asked the warrior at the door of the Yanlong tribe. He saw that there were too many people coming, and the Yanlong tribe was not a market at all, so why did these people come? We are from the giant bear tribe and have stayed in your tribe for some time during the rainy season before. Kai stepped forward and said. The rainy season is over and you have left, so why are you bringing so many people here now? The soldiers asked seriously. They were ready to go back and report at any time. This time they were very confident, unlike when they were attacked by the Black Snake tribe and were at a loss. If these people came here to cause trouble, if so, then they will definitely not be lenient. What's more, they now have more people in the tribe, more weapons, and with Sudbai's leadership, they are not afraid of these people at all. Don't get me wrong, we are here to discuss cooperation with your chief. We have said this before when we left. Kai said seriously. He thought their reaction was normal and they wouldn't think anything of it. They just talked nicely. Then while I go report to our chief, you guys wait here, the soldier said seriously. Tap tap tap. The soldier immediately turned around and ran into the tribe. He couldn't be careless at this time. Because the big ice and snow is coming soon, the tribes are very busy and have no time to start a war. 10 minutes later, the soldier came to the gate of the tribe, talked to them, and then took them into the tribe. Tap tap tap. Kai and others were arranged in a wooden house, but only about 10 people could enter, and the others were all waiting at the door for the time being. Yan Jiao put his hands behind his back with a serious face, walked into the wooden house, and asked, I didn't expect you to come so quickly. He thought that this cooperation would have to wait until after the big snow and ice, but he didn't expect the other party came to the door again so quickly. Because chief, your stuff is so good, and our chief also likes it very much, so let us come again right away, Kaime said immediately. He didn't know why, but his eloquence suddenly became so good, and he didn't stutter when talking to a tribal chief. In the past, when he was nervous, he would be a little awkward when speaking, and even a little unlovable. Say. Have you brought all the things I want? I don't want it if it's just meat. Yan Jiao asked in a deep voice. What he told them before was that he wanted crop seeds and some dried meat. I have brought what the chief asked for, even the dried meat. Kai said immediately. He has a better foundation this time, because he brought what the other party wants, so the conditions for him to open will be easier when the time comes. Oh. So let me see what crop seeds you brought this time. Yan Jiao's attitude began to improve. He didn't expect that the other party would really bring crop seeds. He thought that the other party would treat such things like treasures. It seems that porcelain is more powerful after all. A single porcelain bowl is the other party was fascinated by it, so that they rushed back without saying a word, and even brought the seeds of the crops. Kai nodded and took out a small animal skin wrap thing from the animal skin bag he carried with him, and said, this is something very rare in our tribe, sweet particles. Yan Jiao took the small bag and spread it out, and saw the yellow particles one after another. He picked up one and observed it, and asked, is this the specialty of your tribe? Yes, this food tastes particularly sweet, and not everyone in our tribe can eat it, Kai said immediately. If it's so rare, why, how about exchanging it with us? Yan Jiao asked. Because our chief thinks that compared with porcelain, sweet particles are of course better. Kai said immediately. In his opinion, this is also the case. After all, they have kept the seeds of this thing themselves and can plant it at any time. Moreover, not everyone can grow this kind of thing, and they rarely plant it in the tribe. It can be planted and survive. Sometimes only one or two can survive after planting many, which is why this kind of thing is very rare. So the reason why they are willing to exchange this sweet particle seed is that they must have taken a fancy to the other party. Very few can be grown alive. And the number given to them this time is not large, only about 10. But the quantity you brought back is relatively small. 1 seed and 2 bags of meat can only be exchanged for 1 porcelain. Yan Jiao deliberately showed a disgusted expression. This is because he wanted the other party to feel that he did not care about these things, so that he could get more things in exchange. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 484. Chapter 484, so many can only be replaced by 1? 3 more please customize. No, that's too little. Zhang immediately shook his head. Although he didn't know what porcelain was, he was definitely not willing to hear your exchange rate like this. Kai stopped him and shook his head, saying, you don't know anything about this, leave it to us. Just fine. He understands Fang's mood, but after all, the other party doesn't know anything, so it's better not to speak yet. If this exchange fails accidentally because of what he said, he will definitely be scolded again after he returns. Frame frowned and then said nothing. After all, the order he received was to protect these people. As for discussing cooperation, he has not participated in it, so he does not have much say. I couldn't hold it back just now because the exchange conditions I heard were too harsh. Chief, can you add a little more? Can I put 2 porcelains in 1 seed? Kai still wants to fight for it again. If you think it's less, don't change it, because many people want to change it with me. Yan Jiao shook his head and said. He pushed the small bag back without hesitation, and now he wanted to look very determined. After all, they are in the driver's seat now, and porcelain is what they want. And I can't show that I want the seeds of those crops too much, otherwise I will become very passive. After pushing the things back, I am ready to get up and leave. At this time, I cannot hesitate. I must make the other party feel that I am very busy. If you want it or don't want it, leave immediately. Chief, wait, I am willing to accept the conditions you mentioned, 1 seed and 2 bags of dried meat in exchange for 1 porcelain. Kai said immediately. Although he felt that this was a bit high, after thinking about it carefully, he was not at a loss. Anyway, whether those seeds can be planted is still one thing. And those dried meats are a small matter for their tribe. The tribe has a lot of stock. The dried meat brought out this time is not painful or itchy for their tribe, so it is worth thinking about it. If you are more cheerful, then we will exchange things as agreed now. Yan Jiao said. Chief, can we choose for ourselves? Kai asked. Choose by yourself, everything is the same, so what else can you choose? Yan Jiao asked in confusion. Kai was stunned when he heard this, and asked in confusion, Chief, but I saw that there are many kinds. Can't we choose which ones? Yan Jiao looked in the direction pointed by the other party. When he saw the larger porcelain, he shook his head and said, these are not good, otherwise you can only replace them with one. The lizard boy was referring to some porcelain vases, or porcelain jars and porcelain basins. Those are not only larger in size, but also look better. Can we only replace everything here with one? Kai asked in shock. Yes, you can only exchange one of the things here, or divide them as just mentioned, it's up to you to choose. Yan Jiao said without changing his expression. This was his last-minute decision, because he heard from Qinjian and the others that porcelain is very popular in the spotted deer tribe, and 1 bowl can be exchanged for 2 bags of dried meat. Let's start. He was stunned for a moment, but he didn't expect it to be different from what he thought. He thought he could choose at will, but he didn't expect that those porcelains were more expensive. But after taking a closer look at those porcelains, he felt that this was quite reasonable. After all, those porcelains were so the bigger one is indeed worth so much. Kai sighed and said, then I will change the smaller ones first, and I will change the big ones later. He was a little reluctant to part with those big porcelains. If he could bring one back, he would definitely be praised. Okay, there are 10 seeds in total here, and you also brought 20 bags of dried meat, so take away 9 porcelain bowls, Yan Jiao's steady voice sounded. Kai frowned and said doubtfully, Chief, shouldn't there be 10? It seems that your memory is very bad. Yan Jiao didn't have much expression on his face. After Kai turned his blue eyes, he suddenly understood and apologized again and again. Chief, I didn't mean that. I forgot about it all of a sudden. He immediately remembered the porcelain bowl he had brought back before, and he was instantly a little scared. If I'm sure there are 9, I'll ask someone to get them for you. Yan Jiao asked seriously. Kai nodded without hesitation and immediately responded, yes, this number is correct. Yan Jiao took the seeds of Tianpeng and left, leaving it to others to make arrangements. Kai breathed a sigh of relief after seeing the chief leave. The expression just now really shocked him. He took a deep breath, he took a big mouthful and said, we have to be more careful this time because the quantity is larger than last time. We're here, so nothing will happen, Zhang said seriously. But the main mission is to escort these porcelains back. In the eyes of the giant bear tribe, these porcelains are more important. You really said the wrong thing just now, Li said seriously. She also felt the other person's expression. Although she was standing behind, she still felt the chill coming over her. Sure enough, he was the chief of the tribe. He gave people a very different feeling just by not speaking. I knew that, so I immediately changed my tune. Kai doesn't want to think about what just happened. So what do we do now? I went back directly, but it was already dark. Luo worriedly said. We must stay here for one night, they won't let us stay, Lan Wuo said. We have stayed in the rainy season for more than a month before, not to mention that today is only one night. It would be great if I could live here, then I would definitely have to eat a lot of food. Ludo patted his belly. Don't eat randomly. They gave us food before because they took us in, but this time we came here to exchange things and they had no obligation to give us food, Kai said seriously. Okay, I understand, then we can only eat the food we brought. Ludo was obviously a little disappointed. He originally thought he could eat the Yanlong tribe's food this time, but he didn't expect that he would have to eat his own food in the end. If you want, you can trade our food with them, it just depends on whether they are willing, Li said. Really? Is this really possible? Ludo's little eyes immediately widened. I don't know about this, but their food is all prepared, and our food is not roasted. It would take a lot of food to exchange for a little of their food, Li analyzed. Forget it then, it's a bit worth it. Ludo said disappointedly. Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 485. Chapter 485, Got taken advantage of? 4 more please customize. Tap tap tap. Yan Jiao took the sweet particles and walked straight towards the cement house, wanting to show this thing to Wu immediately. After he went up to the second floor, he handed the package over and said, these are the sweet particles from the giant bear tribe. Subai was surprised after taking the package and spreading it out, and said, isn't this corn? The large area of yellow with a little bit of white at the end is exactly the same as the corn on the other side of the earth. Corn? What is corn? They said these are sweet particles. Yan Jiao said doubtfully. Corn is what we ate before, and it tastes very sweet and good, Subai explained simply. He didn't expect to see corn here, and the appearance is similar to that on the other side of the earth, except that the size here is bigger. But this one has been dried in the sun, so it can't be seen. Will you feel full when you come out? It tastes very good, so we made a profit. We exchanged a porcelain bowl for a seed and 2 bags of dried meat. There was a rare smile on Yan Jiao's serious face. He originally said it casually, but he didn't expect that the other party would agree so readily. Therefore, he still regrets it now and feels that he should have said more. So what's their attitude towards agreeing? Is it very confusing or very refreshing? Subai asked. It's not really a struggle. I just made a request and asked if I could exchange for more, but I said nothing after I refused. Yan Jiao said. Subai nodded thoughtfully, looked at the corn seeds carefully, and asked, do you know the giant bear tribe? I probably know something. Wu, what's wrong? Yan Jiao didn't know what was going on for a while. What is the environment like in their tribe? Is there more or less sun over there? No, you should ask, what is the terrain on his side? Subai asked. Their tribe is on a small hill, which is relatively high, but there are all very tall trees nearby. Although it is a hill, those trees completely block the sky of their tribe. Yan Jiao thought seriously and continued, so they avoid the sun exposure, which is much better than ours. It turns out that it's really no wonder. Subai smiled and shook his head. Wu, what's wrong? What happened to the giant bear tribe? Or is there something wrong with our exchange this time? Yan Jiao didn't know what happened from beginning to end. Do you know why they are so cheerful? Subai raised his head and asked with a smile. Yan Jiao shook his head without hesitation and asked Wu, I don't know, what happened? They haven't left yet. If we are deceived, we will go find him. His tone now is obviously a little angry, and he doesn't want to be fooled by the other party. This transaction has no impact on us, but they think it may have an impact on us. Subai smiled slightly and continued, these corn seeds are difficult to grow in their tribe, so they think these seeds will be the same for us, and they also think it will be difficult for us to grow them. Yan Jiao nodded seriously and continued listening. But this is not the case. These corn seeds are more dependent on the living environment, and these corn seeds can easily survive in our tribe, so their calculations are wrong, Sudbai said with a smile. He really couldn't laugh or cry now. He wanted to laugh when he thought of the other party's stupid behavior. I know, they must think that if we give us the good things from their tribe, we may not be able to grow them, so they won't lose. Yan Jiao said angrily. He always felt like he was being plotted. He was so angry that he was stopped just as he was about to go find the other party. Don't be angry, since they think so, it's the best, and we won't need them in the future, Sudbai said with a smile. He actually didn't like the feeling of being plotted, but the other party's calculation was wrong. The Yanlong tribe did not have a lot of trees to block it, so the sun was very abundant. And corn prefers warmth. For plants, the best germination temperature is between 28 and 35 degrees. All these conditions can be met by the Yanlong tribe. And the most important thing is that Sudbai has plant growth skills. Even if the production environment here cannot reach it, as long as just use this skill. Put some corn and it will not grow as well. And there are a lot of trees blocking the giant bear tribe, and there is not enough sunlight at all, so the corn cannot get enough sunlight, and of course it will germinate. There are very few opportunities. Therefore, the yield of corn in the giant bear tribe is very low, and the corn that can grow is also very small. Wu, shouldn't we switch with them in the future? Yan Jiao asked curiously. No, we have to change, but the chips are going to be raised, and we don't need seeds, we will have our own seeds in the future, Sudbai said seriously. This time he will teach the other party a lesson. Yes, from now on we will exchange 1 piece of porcelain for 10 bags of dried meat. Yan Jiao said angrily, but after thinking about the witchcraft of the witch guild and the fact that the corns could grow in the Yanlong tribe without any problems, he was not so angry. Sudbai blinked his black eyes and asked, what about them, where do you live now? I don't know about this, it should be arranged by the tribe people. Yan Jiao shook his head and said. Okay, then tell them that they won't need these seeds next time, Sudbai said, leaning back on the chair. He wanted to warn those people first, not to have such meaningless thoughts. This time, he pretended that he would suffer first, and then let the other party worry, and they would be closer to him in the future. Got it? Yes, Yan Jiao responded immediately. Even without Sudbai's words, he would have sent someone to warn those people. Fourth update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 486. Chapter 486, Where Foreign Tribesmen Live. One more request for customization. Sudbai watched Yan Jiao leave, blinking his black eyes and lost in thought. He always felt that something was missing in the tribe now. Wu, what's wrong? You seem to have something on your mind, Yu Ying asked worriedly. The fox-eared lady had been feeling that something was not right with the witch tonight. She was either thinking with her head down or looking up at something. Nothing, I was thinking about the development of the tribe, and I always felt like something was missing, Sudbai said softly. The tribe is now developing steadily, is there anything missing? Yu Ying asked innocently. Fox-er Niang felt that the current Yanlong tribe is already very good. You can get whatever you want. It's many times better than the previous tribe. Have you ever felt that people from other tribes have no place to stay after they come to our tribe? Sudbai asked back. This was a question that suddenly occurred to him. If the chief hadn't come to report to him about the giant bear tribe, it might have been delayed forever. This is okay, because there are certain wooden houses reserved for certain people. Yu Ying tilted her head and said. When other tribes come over, they will leave a few wooden houses for them, and then let them leave the next day after staying. Very few tribes will do this. Last time it was because of the rainy season. The 4 children of the giant bear tribe took them in because they had no place to live. And that time it was a witch's order, otherwise the tribe would not dare to advocate for people from other tribes to live in wooden houses. After giving up the wooden houses to them, will the owners of these wooden houses have to squeeze in with other people? Subai continued to ask. Yes, because the tribe has demolished many wooden houses now, and most of them are building stone houses, so those wooden houses can only be used temporarily for them to live in. Yu Ying nodded and said. This is not good. The wooden house was originally occupied by people from our tribe. We cannot ask the original owner of the wooden house to make room for them just because they come. Subai felt that this was inappropriate. They are the masters of this tribe. There is no reason to give up wooden houses to them just to accommodate those people. Wu, what should we do? Should we drive those people away? All other tribes did this, Yu Ying suggested. No, this will make our tribe seem too impersonal, and it will also affect people from other tribes who want to come to our tribe. Subai shook his head and said. He wants to change this rule, just to make everyone think that Yanlong tribe is a better tribe and is willing to accept everyone. Wu, but didn't you just say that there would be no place for the people of our tribe? Yu Ying is a little confused. That's true, but we can build a place specifically for them to live, Subai said with a smile. Yu Ying's pink eyes widened instantly, wondering if her ears had heard wrongly, and she said in shock, Wu, are you serious? Do you really want to build them a house? The fox-eared lady thinks this is really unbelievable. Why does she suddenly want to build a house for others? And this house is built for people from other tribes to live in. This is simply too outrageous. It was obvious that she was not talking about tribes a second ago. Should the wooden houses be used for people from the tribe to live in? They cannot be used for people from other tribes, but now they have to build houses for others. Of course, and this house is even taller. Subai wanted to laugh when he saw the shocked look on the other party's face. Wu, is this too good for the people of other tribes? The people in the tribe will be a little unconvinced, Yu Ying said worriedly. After thinking about it for a while, fox-eared lady decided to forget it. It was the witch's decision that she couldn't interfere with, but she still wanted to talk about the disadvantages of this matter. Silly girl, of course, we didn't let them live in this house for no reason. They must have given us something in exchange. Subai smiled. He still felt that he should just say it directly. He didn't want to make the fox-eared lady happy anymore, otherwise the other party would definitely be confused. So that's the case, I thought witches couldn't do it. Yu Ying smiled awkwardly. Of course I don't know anything. Subai smiled deliberately and continued, there will definitely be more and more people coming to our tribe, and this house is the best place for us to collect intelligence. Yu Ying couldn't quite understand it anyway, so she shook her pink foxtail and asked, Wu Ying, how can this house collect things from them? It depends on the situation. At that time, the house can be divided into several stages, and different stages will charge different things, Subai said. There was no currency in this era, and the only thing he could think of was bartering. That was to provide his own accommodation to people from other tribes, and then ask them to give them something in exchange. I think this is a good way so that we can achieve a good reputation and collect something at the same time, Yu Ying agreed. Fox-er Niang was really amazed at the wisdom of the witch. Why didn't she think of this? This way, the wooden houses in the tribe would not have to be given to people from other tribes. We can also build a kitchen in this house and provide meals. Of course, the most important thing is to exchange things, Subai said with a smile. He just planned to make it look like a restaurant, with a place to eat and a place to stay. The restaurant can attract more people, and many people from the tribe can eat in it. Go to bed directly, or even talk about something while bringing food. Wu, will this be troublesome? Yu Ying asked. It's not too much trouble, just take your time, Subai said softly. He lowered his head, picked up the drawing, and began to describe the appearance of the restaurant. Since it was going to be a restaurant, the appearance must be different. However, it must be made of cement and stone. Built. Woo, where will this restaurant be built? Yu Ying is more concerned about this issue. Because Niang also knows that the current Yanlong tribe is under planned construction, and each area is different. Now when I go to the top floor of the cement house and look down, I can see the tribe is building houses in a neatly planned manner. Instead of the wooden houses and tents scattered in a mess like before, it looks like a mess from above. You have to twist and turn to walk in the tribe. Let's build it farther away from us so that they can speak freely, Subai said. He didn't want the restaurant to be too close to him. In addition to being too mixed with people, it was also very dangerous. I think so too, Yu Ying nodded heavily. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 487. Chapter 487, Not Proportional. 2 more requests for customization. After Subai simply brushed his teeth, he came to the dining table to prepare for breakfast. He drew pictures until very late last night. Woo, do you want to catch up on your sleep in the afternoon? Yu Ying asked worriedly. Last night, the fox-eared lady also stayed with her very late, but she couldn't stand it any longer and fell asleep on the table. As for why she opened her eyes and watched when she got up in the morning. I don't know if it's on the ceiling of my room. It's okay, I have a lot to do today, Subai shook his head and said. He thought about a lot of things before facing the water last night, so he has more things to do today. Woo, what are you busy with today? Is there anything I can do to help? Yu Ying asked. Fox Ear Girl has been more relaxed recently because she doesn't have to sew linen clothes every day. Now she has many pieces in her wardrobe. Everyone has about 7 or 8 pieces that can be replaced, so she will rest for the time being. But she was never a free person, so she immediately asked if there was anything else to do. It's okay, I will call you if I need you, Subai said softly. After the fox-eared lady nodded, she said nothing more and continued to eat her breakfast. After Subai simply finished her breakfast, she prepared her plans for the next day. He stood up, clapped his hands and asked, said Xiao, how is the processing of those wools? The wool has been collected, some dirty ones have been disposed of, and now everything is clean, Yu Ying said immediately. Okay, let's sew it on the outside of the animal skin, so it's warmer, Subai ordered. Sewn on the outside of the hide, Yu Ying was stunned. This was the first time she heard such a request. Subai nodded and said, yes, put the fur side of the animal hide inside, and then sew a circle of wool on the hairless side. So that you will be very warm when the heavy ice and snow comes. So that's it, how much do you need to sew? Yu Ying asked curiously. You have been sewing these recently, and then we all need to have them, so that we can stay warm through the snow and ice, Subai said lightly. Yes, but how do you sew the wool on the outside of the animal skin? Yu Ying asked curiously. Just like linen, you can first weave it into pieces of fabric and then sew them on the outside of the animal skin. In this way, you can also use wool fabric alone to make clothes. Subai paused and continued, but there isn't much wool at the moment, so just sew ours first. Yes, I understand, Yu Ying nodded heavily. Tap tap tap. Subai looked at the fox-eared lady leaving and nodded with satisfaction, ready to continue working on her own affairs. In the morning, he had cast the plant growth spell on the corn seeds, and then asked the fox-eared lady to plant them as well. The area should be larger so that more people can be accommodated, Subai murmured to himself. He was still planning the restaurant, but it is definitely impossible to build it now. We have to wait until after the big ice and snow. There are still 10 days before the big ice and snow arrives, so it is more difficult to drive out a restaurant. In addition, many stone houses in the tribe are currently undergoing finishing work, and the same is true for the avenues. All aspects are very busy. Tap tap tap. Shalan stepped to the second floor of the cement house and asked softly, Wu, will I disturb you? No, what's wrong? Subai turned around and asked. The tribe is ready to welcome the heavy snow and ice soon. Let me ask you, is there anything else you need to prepare? Shalan said. Subai picked up the wooden cup he carried with him and said, tell me, what have you prepared? The food reserves are sufficient now to survive the heavy snow and ice, and there may be some left over when the time comes. Lan thought about it and continued, some animal skins have also been distributed, and they have stored some before. Everyone now has enough animal skins to survive the heavy snow and ice. Great, what else? Subai continued to ask. Also, the stone house will be fully inspected after 5 days. I would like to ask how we will distribute it? Shalan asked. Is the number of rooms proportional to the number of people in the tribe? Subai asked. Proportional? What is direct proportion? Shalan was stunned. That is, there are as many people as there are rooms. This is called direct proportion. So is it proportional? Subai explained briefly. Shalan recalled the memories in his mind, shook his head and said, many people in the tribe are 3 or 4 people in a family. If you calculate it this way, there are still more than 1,000 people who cannot live in stone houses. More than 500 people? Then people from the tribe who came later will sleep in wooden houses, and people from our tribe will sleep in stone houses first, Subai said softly. There are many people from outside tribes in the tribe, and those people are not yet qualified to be allocated stone houses. It is good to be allocated wooden houses to them, and it is good not to let them suffer from the cold. Okay, Wu, what about the food? Do those who come in later also have to share the same food? Shalan asked. It's all divided according to the hardness of the work. Do more and do less, Subai said. I understand, Wu. I will immediately arrange for them to claim the stone house. Shalan responded immediately. Will there be any changes to the tribe when the big ice and snow comes? Subai asked. Shalan thought about the heavy snow and ice in previous years, shook his head and said, there is nothing different except the snow. Okay, then go ahead and get busy, Subai nodded and said. Yes. Shalan turned around and left the cabin. Tap tap tap. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 488. Chapter 488, Yongan Building. 3 more, please customize. Subai took a piece of wolf's tail paper and started to write some words on it. After a while, he wrote several words. He picked it up, took a look at it, and murmured to himself, which one is better? Wu, what's wrong? Yu Ying immediately raised her head when she heard the slight movement. Xiao, come over here and help me decide which one is better. Subai asked. Yu Ying put down her sewing, got up and walked over, asking Wu, what are you looking at? I'm looking at the names of our house. I've written down several. Please give me your opinion, Subai said. Tap tap tap. Just when he finished speaking, the horned girl pulled the cat-eared girl to the second floor. Wu, we're done training. Yanhua breathed heavily, and sweat was everywhere on her forehead and neck. Subai took out 2 tissues and handed them over, saying, take a rest first, drink some water later. Thank you, Wu, Yanhua said with a grin. Cat-eared girl also received 2 tissues and began to wipe the sweat on her body. If it dried, it would be too sticky. You are here just in time. Wu asked me to help him choose a name. You can also give me some advice. Yu Ying said. Yanhua shook her long black hair and asked, what's your name, the child's name? Only after the horned girl finished speaking did she realize that something was wrong. She immediately opened her red eyes and looked at the fox-eared lady and Subai. The expression on her face seemed to be staged in a big show. It was so complicated that the corners of her mouth could not help but twitch. When Shalan heard what the horned lady said. She realized something was wrong, and the cat's tail immediately dropped. She looked very frustrated and asked, "Did they name you and the witch child?" After hearing this, Yuying's face was covered with black lines. She quickly waved her hands and shouted, "What are you thinking about? You are thinking in a mess." The fox-eared lady's face immediately turned red. She immediately lowered her head and felt at a loss. Her hands unnaturally grasped the corners of the animal skin skirt. "Is not it?" Yanhua breathed a sigh of relief when she saw the fox-eared lady, and felt even more relieved when she saw that the pear was still flat. "It scared me to death. I thought it would be so fast, so soon." Shalan was a bit speechless. "What's there so soon? Your reaction is too great." Subai couldn't help but twitching the corners of his eyes a few times. "I didn't expect these beast-eared girls to be so helpful in making up a big show." With just one sentence, I could see the rich expressions on their faces. "Without, nothing, nothing." Shalan waved her hands repeatedly and asked Wu, "What name does Xiao want us to help choose?" "Yes, yes, which child wanted to name it? Did he pick it up near the tribe?" Yanhua asked. Crunch. "Picked up near the tribe? Have you talked about me?" Keek just opened the door of the laboratory. "No, please help me choose a name for this house," Subai asked. "Ah!" the beast-eared girls shouted in unison, while the fox-eared girl shrugged her shoulders on the side, with an expression on her face that seemed to say, "That's it." And Coco was even more confused. Why did she hear such a noise as soon as it came out? A word. "Well, the place where we live must have a name, otherwise it will always be called a stone house, which is also very unpleasant." Subai didn't understand why everyone had such a big reaction. Yanhua breathed a sigh of relief when he heard this and said, "I thought that, but it turned out to be this." "Wu, what names are there to choose from?" Shalan asked awkwardly. At this time, she didn't want to think about what she had just thought wrongly. "Can we make suggestions?" Coco asked, blinking her golden eyes. "Certainly." Subai nodded and said, "There are 3 names in total: Wanping Tower, Beeping Tower, and Yong'an Tower. These 3 names are actually the names of ancient cities on the other side of the earth, and they are all the old names of a certain capital." Subai still likes these old names. They sound very comfortable and elegant, although they are completely different from the barbaric primitive era now. But sooner or later this place will become a city, and it will also have a nice name then. "These names are all very nice, I like them all," Yanhua blurted out without thinking. After hearing these 3, Niujiao Niang didn't compare them at all. She just thought that all 3 sounded good. "Yeah, it sounds really good, a little hard to choose." Shalan thought about it seriously. Although she was different from the horn girl, after careful consideration, she still felt that all 3 were good. Coco brushed her short hair behind her ears and said, "I think the last 2 sound good." "I also like the last 2," Yu Ying said, wagging her pink foxtail. "Okay, let's eliminate the first one and choose one of the remaining 2," Subai said with a smile. In fact, he also liked these 3 names very much, and it was very difficult to choose, so he asked the girls to give some suggestions. Yanhua put her finger on her chin, with a look of serious thinking on her face, and said, "Then I prefer Yong'an Tower. This one sounds very good." "That's true, but I think the name Beeping Tower is also nice," Shalan said softly. 2 people with completely different personalities were seriously discussing a name. This scene seemed to be admiringly harmonious. "Where are you 2, Xiao and Keek? Are there any different opinions?" Subai asked. "I think the remaining 2 are good, but I also like the last one." Keek analyzed it seriously. Yuying nodded heavily, blinked her watery pink eyes and said, "I also like the last one, Yong'an Building." "Well, then it's decided, our place will be called Yong'an Building, and we'll make a plaque and hang it up when the time comes," Subai said with a smile. In fact, This name was the first name that popped into his mind when he was thinking about what to call this building. Now this building deserves this name, right? Woo, what does Yongan Tower mean? Does it have any special meaning? Yanhua asked curiously. Yes, Woo, do the other two names also have other meanings? Shalan also became curious. As the name suggests, Yongan building means eternal peace, which means that the place we live here will always be peaceful, Subai said with a smile. He likes ancient names very much for this reason. Those two simple words can contain beautiful meanings, and the combination of these two simple words is also very nice. So it turns out that this is the most appropriate name for this building. Yu Ying didn't expect it to have this meaning. Well, we'll always have peace here, Subai smiled and said. Third update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 489. Chapter 489, even the birds can't understand what we say. For more, please customize. Woo, you just mentioned the plaque. What is the plaque? Yanhua only heard this unfamiliar word. The plaque is something hanging above the gate, telling everyone the name of the building, Subai explained simply. In fact, after ancient buildings in the Chinese kingdom on earth were built, plaques were often hung to add the finishing touch to the buildings. Because people at that time believed that everyone had a name after birth, so the buildings should also have a name. A name serves as a code. Naturally, the plaque has been passed down to this day, and it will look more beautiful with the plaque. Oh, I understand. Then when the time comes, should we also hang a plaque of the Yanlong tribe on the door of the tribe? Yanhua immediately thought of this. Ha 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 ha, if we talk about this when the time comes, it will definitely fail, but not now, Subai smiled heartily. He didn't expect that Niojiao Niang would think of this immediately, but she would indeed hang one up when the time came. But all this would have to wait until the row of wooden walls were dismantled and a city wall was built. Got it? Woo, then write it down and I will ask Uncle Gumyu to make this plaque now. Yanhua can't wait. She really wants to see what a plaque will look like in front of the building. It will definitely look good. Don't worry, just take a rest first, Subai smiled. By the way, Woo, when we just came back, we saw the second hunting team coming back. The people of the first hunting team are getting ready and will set off tomorrow. Shalan said. After the cat-eared girls finished their training, they saw hot air balloons flying towards the tribe from a distance. It was obvious that that direction was the direction of the hunting grounds. Yeah, but this is a bit not good. Subai suddenly pursed his lips and said. Woo, what's wrong? Did something happen? Shalan worriedly said. The circulation of news is too slow. Just like the last time Kinjian and his friends came back, we didn't even know they had brought someone back. Subai frowned and continued, just like when we came back from the sea a few days ago, the people in the tribe also don't know anything. Woo, there's nothing we can do about it, because we're so far apart that we can't talk at all. Shalan said helplessly. Although the cat-eared lady has always known about this problem, it is also something that really exists and cannot be solved. Since the tribe was established for so long, this has been the most fatal communication problem, but it has not been solved until now. No, this will seriously affect the development of our tribe. If we had better information circulation when we attacked the Black Snake tribe last time, we would have won it long ago, Subai said in a deep voice. He had always thought this was a problem, but at that time he was only focused on the most stressful things at hand and did not think about this aspect. Woo, what should we do? Using a hot air balloon to deliver a message? Shalan asked. No, this is too conspicuous and easily discovered by other tribes, and the speed of the hot air balloon is not very fast. Subai shook his head. He didn't think hot air balloons were a good way. The message must be conveyed inconspicuously and quickly. Even a hot air balloon doesn't work, so there's really nothing we can do. Shalan frowned. No, there is another way, and that is a kind of homing pigeon. If it is delivered in this way, it will not only be fast but also will not be released. Subai suddenly thought of a brilliant idea. Homing pigeon? Woo, what is a homing pigeon? Shalan doesn't know anything about this vocabulary. We use birds to convey information for us, Subai explained simply. But we don't understand what the birds say, and the birds don't understand what we say, so how can they help us convey the message? Shalan even doubted whether he heard it wrong. How could he think of using birds to convey messages? This is simply impossible to do unless birds can understand human language. They don't need to understand what we say, they just need to help us bring the letters, Subai said softly. On the other side of the earth, flying pigeons to send messages is a very common method of transmitting information. Of course, this refers to the ancient times, when communications were not developed and there were no modern smartphones. Kind of. So people at that time thought of using birds to convey information, which was much faster than rushing to convey information. Because generally speaking, the birds themselves will recognize the way home, just like a tired bird returning home. Like a nest. The ancients used flying pigeons to send messages. For example, you and I are friends. Of course you and I live in the same place. Later, I went to another place, so I left my hometown with the pigeons from my hometown. One day if I need to contact you about something, I will put the note on the pigeon's foot inside a special thing for letters, and then release the pigeon. Then the pigeon will fly to my hometown, and you will find the pigeon and my letter. The same goes for geese, they all take advantage of the habits of birds. Of course, the premise is that you have raised these birds for a long time and provided them with sufficient living environment and food every day. In this way, after they leave this place, they will want to come back again. If there is not enough food and the living environment is not good, they will leave and never think about coming back. Letters are about tying what we write to birds, and then letting those birds help us fly to specific people. Shalan is quite smart. Well, you are right, as long as those birds fly to specific people, those people will know what I am going to say if they take off the letter from the birds, Subai said. Woo, there is absolutely no way to do this. Those birds don't know where they are going to fly. Shalan still feels that this plan is not feasible. It doesn't matter, just do what I say and you will know when the time comes. Subai doesn't want to explain too much. It's better to show them the results directly than to explain it to them for a long time. Yes, what does the witch want us to do? Shalan immediately stood up straight and asked. Go and catch some birds for me, but these birds must be docile, and they must be the ones that leave here every year and come back at a specific time, Subai said. Leaving here and coming back every year, Shalan is a little confused at this time. For example, if the big ice and snow is coming soon, those birds will definitely fly to other places. Just catch the migrating birds, Subai said simply. Oh. I know, there are two kinds of birds that do this, one is the gray finch and the other is the big kudzu. Shalan said immediately. Well, let's just grab these two, Subai smiled and said. I see. Shalan responded softly. Fourth update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 490. Chapter 490, Gain Favor. One more, please customize. The weather is getting cooler, much cooler than before. Now you need to wear more clothes not only during the day and night, but also at noon. There used to be a hot sun at noon, but now it is completely gone, replaced by a cool breeze. If you stay outside for too long, you can't help but sneeze. Heavy snow and ice are coming soon. Subai was standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling window looking at the changes outside the tribe. The originally emerald green leaves began to turn yellow. In the past, everything you looked at was green, but now you see everything is golden. He is now planning to go to the greenhouse to have a look. The plants that he used the plant growth technique before are almost ready to be harvested. Tap tap tap. Subai left Yong'an building and walked towards the wooden shed with the girls. More than half an hour later, everyone arrived outside the tribe, and now they could see a lush green area wherever they looked. Of course, these lush green areas do not refer to the forests, but to the crops planted on the land dug out of the tribe's doorstep. That's Chinese cabbage. All the seeds that were bloomed before have been planted. Now they are growing very well. Woo, these cabbages look so big, can we eat them? Yanhua asked. When Niujiao Niang saw those white and green cabbages, her appetite suddenly came. It's ready to be harvested. We can eat Chinese cabbage tonight, Subai chuckled. Suddenly seeing the white cabbages all over the ground, his mood improved. He probably counted 70 or 80 of these cabbages, and they were also planted on the wide farmland. There are many other crops, including tomatoes, sweet potatoes, etc. These crops can also be harvested, and the red tomatoes look very appetizing. There are also those potatoes and sweet potatoes. The green seedlings also look very green, in sharp contrast to the yellow forest not far away. The tomatoes are all ready to be harvested, and we can eat tomato scrambled eggs again tonight, Yu Ying said with a smile. The fox-eared lady was also very happy to see this scene. After all, she personally prepares these crops every day. Although there are many other people helping to prepare these crops, the fox-eared lady is still worried and wants to do it herself. Go and have a look. Woo, can we collect the potatoes we planted before? Yanhua asked curiously. Niujiao Niang was still thinking about those potatoes. After all, she said that these crops were delicious when she planted them. You can start digging now. Let people bring tools to dig. It will definitely be a bumper harvest, Subai nodded and said. Dig, Yanhua blinked her red eyes in confusion. Yes, you don't need the green leaves on top, just dig out the potatoes below. Subai nodded. Yanhua nodded thoughtfully and said, Woo, can I start digging? Certainly, Subai said softly. Woo, I have brought the tools. Can we dig around first? Yu Ying immediately took out the small hose she had prepared with her. Those small hoses were very small and fit just right in the girl's hands. They did not take up any space at all. Dig, but be careful not to damage those potatoes with your hose, Subai warned. He didn't want those girls to dig indiscriminately and cause holes to be poked out in the potatoes. Yes, the little hoe was a little impatient for the results of the flowers, and it seemed as if she didn't hear the second half of the sentence. She happily came to the potato seedlings with the little hoe, squatted down and started digging potatoes. Digging high with a hoe, after digging it out, it was full of potatoes. I don't know if the horn lady was lucky or if she was a better operator. Since this hoe didn't hurt any potatoes, the others also followed suit and started to learn. They squatted down to dig potatoes. However, they were not as lucky as the horned ladies. Most of the potatoes they dug out were injured by them. They all looked incomplete on the outside. They were either rubbed to the skin or directly cut off. Divided into two in the middle. Ha ha ha, you don't have any tricks, you have to learn from me, Yanhua laughed loudly. Because she saw that the potatoes dug out by others were all messy, she couldn't help but want to laugh. How do you dig it, and why do the potatoes you dig out look so beautiful? Shalan asked curiously. Don't be anxious. Press down the potato leaves to expose the bottom, and then dig farther away. Don't get too close, otherwise you will definitely hit the potatoes when you dig in with the hoe, Yanhua explained. While she was explaining to everyone, she started to dig out the potatoes herself. The potatoes dug out were equally good and no potatoes were harmed. That is true, Yu Ying's pink eyes widened and she followed suit. Others also started to learn, and the potatoes dug out were indeed much better than before. The potatoes dug out slowly were perfect, but you've just been digging for a while and you're already a little tired. Let's go pick tomatoes. Those tomatoes are so red. Yu Ying stood up and suggested. Okay, I like tomatoes too, let me pick tomatoes. Yanhua stood up immediately. She put down the hoe in her hand, patted the soil in her hand and walked straight towards the tomatoes. Snap! Snap! The crisp sound of tomatoes kept ringing, and in the blink of an eye, those red tomatoes were picked. There are a lot of tomatoes, woo. But we can't finish them all at once. Do we want to share them? Yu Ying said worriedly. It's okay, we can make ketchup if we can't finish it. Subai smiled and said. Ketchup? Is it another new seasoning? Yu Ying asked curiously. Recently I saw new things that the tribe has been making, all of which are related to seasonings. That's right, this seasoning tastes sour and sweet, Subai explained. He hasn't eaten ketchup for a while, and there are many foods that can be made with ketchup. Then I will collect them all, clean them and put them in Yong'an building, Yu Ying said. Well, then give some to the chief and Kangxi and the others, Subai nodded and said. Recently, the crops grown in greenhouses and fields are not enough for all the tribesmen, so they can only select some people and distribute some. I know, I will send some over to everyone, Yu Ying's soft voice sounded. Fox Ear Girl is still very good at this. Every time she distributes things in the name of the witch, so as to help the witch gain more favor. Please update for support and customization.